Welcome to CXWise, where we share wisdom, insights, stories, and expertise from the world of customer experience. I'm your host, Nate Bennett, and you're about to hear real-world experiences and practical advice that will elevate your CX game no matter your title and no matter your industry. So, without further ado, let's get wise. My guest today is Rory Read, President and CEO of Sprinklr. Rory is a transformational leader whose career spans more than 4 decades at the helm of some of the world's most influential technology companies. He is known for driving innovation and executing large-scale turnarounds. Since stepping into his role at Sprinklr, he's been transforming the company to really drive its mission to help global brands deliver more human, connected experiences across every modern channel. Before joining Sprinklr, Rory served as CEO of Vonage and has held executive roles at Dell, VirtuStream, Lenovo, and IBM, just to name a few. But Rory's not just a seasoned executive. He's a visionary strategist, a relentless customer advocate, and a builder of high-performing teams. And his leadership continues to shape the future of enterprise technology. Rory, thank you so much for joining us at CXWise. How are you?
It's my pleasure. I'm super excited to be here, Nate.
Me too. Well, the first question we always ask our guests on CXWise is, what is your definition of extraordinary customer experience?
I think there's no doubt extraordinary customer experience is one that unites and pulls together that customer relationship across a enterprise. That enterprise interacts with customers in many different ways across 4 or 5 vectors of customer engagement: discovery, commerce, support, service. And those vectors represent a holistic experience that that customer is creating. When we create an extraordinary customer experience, it's one that really understands that entire customer journey. That customer's interaction in brick and mortar, on digital, social, surveys, on the phone, digital, all coming together to show that understanding of that whole and complete person. When a company can truly unlock that kind of unified customer experience, they create an understanding, a voice of the customer that's unmatched. That's extraordinary. That's unique. And that's where the market is going. That's where this industry is going, Nate. There's no question in my mind. And the ability to do that will create extraordinary customer experiences in a unbelievably transformative and impactful way.
And I love what you're talking about is the human element of customer experience.
Mm.
A lot of times you hear technology leaders over-indexing in the technology space
Yeah.
and underplaying the human element of it. And what you're describing is feeling, it's emotion, and it's holistic. And I love that that's the Sprinkler approach. I think that's uniquely powerful.
It is. There's no question. I think that Sprinklr is uniquely positioned to become what could be a platform around this unification of customer experience. And I think the way that we built the technology on this native AI platform is truly unlocking what could be the next wave of ubiquitous customer engagement. Today, engagement is done transactionally. It's moving in a direction where we're linking pieces together, but it's that ubiquitous 360-degree engagement
Mm.
that will truly unlock the capability of customers to understand, companies to understand their customers in a whole and complete way. And the customer will react in a very different way because of it. Today, when they interact with companies that truly understand them, they have a much higher degree of connection. They have a much higher degree of satisfaction. And this will not just be a question of if, it's a question of how fast.
Mhm.
This is happening real time
Yeah.
as we speak.
No, I love that. And one of the things on that note, you've described today's world as hyper-connected yet disconnected. What does that paradox mean for brands trying to build trust and loyalty with their customers?
Well, it's an interesting situation. There's no doubt that we're in a hyper connected world. And in this world, we have just unbelievable amounts of channels, data. We walk around with a communication device as if we were on Star Trek in
Mhm.
1967, I suppose. And in that, through that device, people will, in a address, they'll probably look at their phone 7 times during that 30-minute presentation. That's amazing. And that's so different than it was even 10 or 20 years ago. That kind of transformation, that kind of journey that these individuals are on, they're going to have a whole different view of what that world is. And they're hyper connected with all these channels, these devices, information, but they're not connected. They're not really living that entire experience. There are bits and pieces coming at them. And I think there'll be a reflection over the next 3, 5, 7 years where too much is too much. And it's actually just noise.
Mm.
And what we're going to find is the quality of that engagement will ratchet up and the expectation of it will move forward and really represent a kind of a rebirth of the quality of engagement that we create. We've seen a lot of data where there's a mismatch between this set of all these different channels and this hyper connection with the understanding of the brand and really the satisfaction of the brand. And I think that represents a dissatisfaction with the amount of noise, the lack of quality of the engagement, the understanding of the customer, the understanding of their individual needs. More doesn't necessarily equal better. I think often less is more. The quality of the engagement, the depth of the engagement, the impact of the engagement. Thousands of connections? Sure. It's like 1,500 channels on your TV at
Mm.
home, but nothing to watch? Really? It's the same thing. What we have to do is create the quality of the engagement. That'll drive the customer. The customer will react to it, and that's where the market's going. That's what we have to do as unifiers is to create that depth and quality of that engagement that's individual and truly enables that connection to create value and impact.
I got to tell you, you cannot be in the room with you for more than 60 seconds and not feel the customer obsession just sort of
Oh,
radiating
thank
from
you.
you.
Well,
And
I've spent a lot of times with customer. I'm probably now up to about 325 detailed customer engagement, multiple hours, multiple times about Sprinklr and the marketplace. There's a passion out there about how to change this and change the world. And I love that comparison. You know, you get cable television and you get 1,500 channels, but there's nothing to watch.
mm,
You don't feel satisfied. You don't feel rewarded. There's so many connections, yet you're not connected.
mm.
The companies that can create those brand connections that are unique, holistic, ubiquitous, and channeled to me and understand my individual needs, I will create a different satisfaction. And I think we're at the beginning of a technology that's going to unlock that.
And what do you see? That's exactly where I wanted to go. In your travels over the last however many months, 9, 10 months or so, you've met with hundreds of business leaders. I'm wondering what are the most pressing challenges that they're facing that are keeping them from delivering those consistent, holistic, unified customer experiences across these channels?
I think it's a combination of things. I think so many of the business leaders, particularly in the global 3,000 customer set, know that there's a need for this. They understand this mismatch between expectation, what they're actually delivering. They also have the challenges around cost and the pressures they have. And then this whole AI phenomena where they know that it's a huge technology wave that will change industry for the next 20, 25 years. But the hype is outpacing the actual impact of it. I think they are challenged with knowing exactly how to unlock it. And there's a sense of risk and concern around can they do that in an effective way that gives the return on investment? They have limited dollars to spend. They have limited opportunities they can go prosecute. But here's a set of capabilities that are almost flooded with this whole AI discussion. And it's, don't get me wrong, AI is a technology wave on par with the web, on par with um, mobility, on par with cloud. It will have ramifications for 30 years. It will. But what my customers are saying to me is, show me how to unlock that. How can I make these impacts? How can I create a better experience for the customer, better cost, more revenue, better experiences for our customers? And it's three components. How do I grow? How do I be more efficient? And how do I create that extraordinary customer experience? That's what they're all after. They're blocked, though, not sure what to do. They want a more sure thing, they want clarity, and they want proof points that'll get you there. There are some customers that are on the cutting edge. They're the early adopters, they're just before the knee of the curve and the acceleration. We've got, a couple of dozen of them that are truly pushing the envelope. I think they're gonna be the trendsetters, and the others are gonna rapidly follow as those proof points are demonstrated and accelerated.
Well, let's talk about trust
Mm.
for a little while. Um, I know that with so much fragmentation of data, teams and technology can often contribute to the erosion of trust that consumers have for their brand. So, how can a brand start to reverse that lack of trust, if
Yeah,
they can at all?
well, I love trust. People often ask me, "What's the key to a successful career, and how do you get the most satisfaction out of your career?" I'll tell you, it's do you develop and create and extend trust? If you're a trustworthy team member, a partner, and you build a, a understanding and a group of colleagues over a career that trust you, customers, you can sell to anybody once. But if you don't build and extend trust, you won't sell to them again. If you look at your career over a lifetime, it's who did you create those relationships? Did you leave every interaction better than you found it? You invited me to this event. I could just go through this and give you a half-hearted effort, or I could give you my best and do the best job I could, leave it better than I found it. I think that's the key about building trust, making that commitment. I'm passionate about trust. I believe you can rebuild and create trust every day. And every opportunity is a opportunity to leave it better than you found it. Do what you say and own what you do. When you make a commitment, deliver on it. When you make a mistake, right the wrong. Reach out to that person, create that opportunity, get better. If you're open and transparent and you work in a world of trust, that customer, that partner, they'll react to that and they'll believe that they see that different. You could do the same thing in your brand. And you know what the best day to just to tackle that? Today.
Mm.
Every day. That that whatever problem you have, the best day to deal with it is that day. So if you want to fix and rebuild trust in your brand, start today and do it by realizing and delivering on the commitments you make around that brand. Live to that trust, extend that trust, and reinforce those attributes in everything you do. I don't accept anyone's view that they can't rebuild trust and they can't do it quickly. Sure, it might take a few quarters, even a year and a half. But if you start today, you're one step closer. You know, the first step of every journey is the most important one
Mhm.
because as you take that first step, every day you get closer and closer to your goal. You can rebuild trust 1000%. I believe it in my core. Brands do it all the time. And all it takes is the desire, the dedication to rebuild that relationship with your customers and to live the commitments that you make in a holistic and real way.
You have led a lot of very, very large organizations very
Sure,
successfully and through some challenging times.
sure.
How do you, as a leader, establish and maintain trust with your teams, your employees at all levels? Because that can be challenging for sure, especially when you're a new leader into an organization who has to make some difficult choices.
Sure.
How do you manage that just personally in your own style? What would you recommend to leaders who might face some similar challenges that you faced?
Well, I think some of the key things are being open and being transparent, being a real person. When you're there, be there. Listen with the intent to understand, not to answer. Many of us are trained in a Western education system. We get rewarded for raising our hand fast, even before the question's asked. Listen to understand that person's view. Look and take in the data and understand the problem at hand. Put it in front of the entire team. Share that information. Make it a team effort. And when you have to make a tough decision, and you do, make it quickly, make it decisively, be clear about it. And whatever you think that is, make it 20% deeper
Mm.
or 20% more so you don't have to do it again.
One of the things when you talk about transparency that I thought was pretty remarkable about you is, and I don't know if you've done this often or if it was a singular moment, you repeatedly on company all hands would share your cell phone number. I'm wondering if have you had people actually take you up on that offer?
Hundreds of
Really?
people. I'm always interested in talking about how you can make a better company, how I can support the customer. I get many texts, emails, sometimes in the middle of the meeting where I give the number. I think they're just testing me to see if I'm going to really respond. Hey, I might not be able to respond at that moment. I may even be in a board meeting or a customer meeting, but I will get back. I will respond. I always do. And often there's some really good interchanges and good ideas come from that. But that's about building a team, an environment. And when you create that momentum in an organization, they buy into the change agent, they become the voice of change. And you're just a steward of that change. All you're trying to do is create a catalyst for this company to become what it can be. And you want to create all those things and get in motion. But it's once you create that right culture and that right set of change agents and enough of the organization buys in, they take it from there and they
Mm.
take the company on an amazing journey.
No, I love that. I
I
love that.
love it
It's
too.
pretty
Yeah,
remarkable.
it's great fun.
Let's talk about Sprinkler's position as native AI. We discussed it, or you touched on it just a little bit ago. What does that mean in practice, and how does it differentiate Sprinkler in the CX space?
Well, there's no question that this is a company that was born in the social space, consuming terabytes, huge amounts of unstructured data. And there's no way to create insights and capabilities to truly understand that data if you're not able to use AI. This is used in AI engine for the past 8, 10 years. This is not new. We built this. This is not Sprinkler AI, where you slap on 2 letters on the end of the company name and now it's an AI company. No, this is inherent in the platform. And the platform was built as a single scalable platform. So whether you're in the social vertical, the customer feedback, the digital support, or the CCaaS customer center voice support, you're on the same platform using the same AI engine. So all of the information starts to cross pollinate. So if you're getting data on a customer around their social posts or their feedback information or their in a real-time engagement around the contact center. We link all that information for that intelligent collaboration or co-piloting with the agent or the deflection in the full agentic experiences. And that links that together in one platform, a robust single voice of the customer, unmatched, a strategic moat that can be created. This is where the market is going 100%. And we, this small $900 million company, actually has built the technology, and our founder, Raji Thomas, had a vision. And it was a really good vision. And now we're putting the operational discipline and execution to unlock it. But imagine enterprise custom companies being able to link that data on a AI engine that takes AI Studio capability to build and manage it, a set of agentic deflection drivers of full AI automation to drive lower costs and digital solutions, and then intelligent collaboration with co-piloting that unlock the value. And then what's the power is they cross-chain each other. It's a full loop of learning. It's not just in one. All of that data flows into the models to create the full and robust view of the customer experience, unmatched, and our true opportunity to unlock the value of Sprinkler.
I wonder if you can share any of the real world examples or customer stories on how Sprinkler's unified approach, that holistic approach that we were talking about, has helped a brand transform in their customer experience strategy.
Yeah, there's no question. There's tons of them. There's a huge entertainment company on a global basis that delivers streaming real time across the planet. We deliver their incomplete customer feedback management loop. We're scalable when they have challenges or run a huge live event. We're able to scale and grow with them and deliver that whole and complete picture. There's another Global 50 electronics appliance company that's taking our entire solution across the entire planet, 42 divisions across social, digital, and contact center to create a single voice of the customer. That's a project at scale we've never seen in
Mhm.
Sprinkler. I can go on and on. There's other examples. I think I used to work at a company, Lenovo, they use our capability and they're going to be a big sponsor around the whole World Cup coming up. They're going to have CES where they're going to have the Sphere be their event. They're using Sprinkler to understand all of the information of their social environment. They're dramatically changing their understanding of the sentiment and the relationship with their customers. And that's just the beginning of the unlock that these customers are going on this journey. And there's hundreds more. These are iconic brands that are creating an unmatched set of insights and capabilities that allow them to win in the marketplace.
It's really, really incredible the how we're empowering our customers to deliver extraordinary experiences to their customers. And it's exciting to be a part of it, to hear those stories here, to see people really being truly engaged and excited about what Sprinkler is doing for them because they clearly see the benefit. I'm wondering with generative AI and automation accelerating, how should brands balance efficiency with empathy in customer interactions? Because we do, like we said before, really is about the human connection as well.
Yeah, sure. I think being in the tech space for the last more than 4 decades, I've seen waves of technology, mainframe to client server to uh, the internet, the mobility, cell phones, .com, the whole migration to cloud, and now AI. AI is a fundamental technology wave. It will influence the industry for 25 years. But just like .com, there'll be an over exuberance of enthusiasm. There'll be a consolidation, reset, and then a more steady increase of growth. I think when you see the power of AI being unlocked is when you combine it with the data and workflows and the people that create intelligent collaboration and create the contextual information that lets AI truly work. Give AI a bunch of numbers and math. It's not great at it. It's great at linking contextual ideas and information together to create understanding. I think what we're doing with our AI is that we've created a platform, a studio to manage our AI capability on a single platform full of data and workflows, customer journeys. And we work directly with the customer and the end users to create that AI in two kind of fundamental ways. One around intelligent collaboration with humans, co-piloting. Co-piloting creates the information, the nudges, the data, the real-time references that allows that person to give a better experience, whether it's in the analytics of the social data or the marketing information or a contact center. It allows that individual to have a better set of insights with that contextual information and makes that individual more influential, more successful, more impactful. At the same time, we use that same data to create the agentic deflection workflows for some of the other functionality that we need to have more efficiency. Remember earlier in the discussion, we talk about executives really looking at three things. They look at how can I grow? How can I be more efficient? And how can I create great customer experiences? AI, when it's truly unlocked with workflows, data, contextual information, and people, it becomes a powerful enabler to find better ways to sell and upsell and to create value for our customers so that they buy more from that customer. They're more efficient because we definitely drive certain activities through agentic solutions and more digital solutions. Nothing wrong with that. And it also enhances the capabilities of individuals in every function in the organization that use that cross set of data and workflow and contextual information to be more efficient and more effective. And that creates a better outcome for the end customer of all those activities. That's the magic of AI. That's the reality of it. You want to just talk about, I'm going to drive, everything's going to take over and it's, Terminator 2 and all that. That's not what it is. And the valuation are overhyped at this point. What it is a transformational wave of technology on par with the cloud, with mobility.com. What happened in 1999? Every company was going to cease to exist
Mhm.
and everything brick and mortar was going to be over. What happened? That didn't happen. There's never a winner take all scenario in these technology waves. By the way, mainframe technology in the 80s, still one of IBM's most profitable businesses in their P&L today. Yet that's what, 45 years ago? That's what waves of technology, they're built on top of each other. This AI wave will run for the next 25 years, but its impact will be built on all the other capabilities. And that data and information will make people more efficient. They'll make the end customer more effective and have a better experience with that company. It's not winner take all. It's not everything's going to be AI. That doesn't even make sense. Do you wanna go see what happened? Look what happened in 2000 and the dot-com bust. Was dot-com and the internet important? Sure it
Course.
was, hugely impactful. It was a wave and it's still going on today, but it didn't take everything over. It never does. I've been doing this for 42 years. I've seen it over and over. That's just another wave. It's a transformative one. It's huge. It's important, but it isn't a winner take all. Stop the madness. Focus on combining it with a contextual information workflow that enables intelligent collaboration with humans and deflection in agentic that creates a robust and full customer experience. That's the way forward.
That's amazing. The transformation of new technology or the introduction of new technology is often disruptive,
Of
like the
course.
printing press,
Sure.
but it doesn't mean I like that you say it's not a winner take all.
No,
Yeah.
no, and they're built on other things, and even if it's transformational, other work models will start to build on top of it. That will diversify the and expand the kinds of players that can leverage it. It is important, there's no question, but it is not a winner take all, and I think people are beginning to realize
We should print t-shirts that say AI is not a winner take all game.
that.
Maybe.
AI is a transformational wave for
For
sure,
sure.
for sure.
I want to talk a little bit more about leadership and CX if you don't mind.
Sure.
What role, as you see it, does leadership play in driving that CX transformation? Like what mindset shifts are needed at your level, at the executive level, to truly reimagine customer connection?
Well, it goes back to a question you asked a few minutes ago, and you asked about what holds some people back from that. I think it's a boldness of decision. There's always going to be those front runners that are going to embrace technology as early adopters, and they're going to define the trend. And when they're right, and I think they're going to be right on this one, they create a disproportional advantage. And when there's a transformational shift, that's when new winners and losers are set.
Mhm.
And that can leapfrog a company's performance over others because of that event. I think leadership has to be balanced. It has to understand the opportunity, the risk. It has to really weigh out the return and then have that boldness of decision when it's that right time to take that jump and move the company in a direction. I tend to be an optimist. There's no question about it. I believe if you can't find a way, you can make a way. And I believe that if you put your mind to anything, you can probably find a way to get it done. I think that I have to be careful sometimes that I don't get overly optimistic about things. But in this case, when I do get to that decision and I have a lot of colleagues that I trust, I listen to team members around the world. I hear what they say, I hear what the customer, and I'm bringing all of those thoughts and information to make that decision. But when it's time to make that decision, decide, be bold, be brave, go forward and change the industry. Leave the world better than you found it, Be bold. I think Sprinkler can do that. I really do. And when I meet CEOs of some of the most iconic brands in the world, they're always interested in what's next and what could they be missing and what could they potentially do. They tend to be a bit risk averse, some more than others. Some will push the envelope. Those we embrace immediately and we take and go on that journey together and we define a new market space and a new opportunity and then we bring it to the rest of the world. Those front runners, when they get it right, they get a disproportional share of the pie. So there is a risk reward for sure.
You seem like an envelope pusher.
Mm.
Do you feel that way?
I try to be more balanced. I have a good friend and he says often, what's the best day to be alive? Today, right? Because technology and the world is the best day, but it's the best day until tomorrow.
I was
Because
gonna say, what
tomorrow's
about
going to be
tomorrow?
even better. I can't, that's how I kind of look at it. I think I can't wait to see what happens next year. Think about it. When I was a kid, I had a party line. I have one phone in my house with a 25-foot cord that my brothers and sister, we could all talk on, and we had to wait to see if someone was on the line because the same people shared it. We can talk to anyone. I didn't even go on an airplane until I went to college, okay? Yet now the world is in our palm of the hands. We have the size of a supercomputer in our pocket. We're able to meet and discuss real time with people across the planet in a holistic, rewarding way of every culture, every experience. And this came from a time where I had 7 channels on a television that was with a antenna at the top of the house, and maybe 4 of them you could actually see what was on it, and you kind of had to turn it to try and get it a little bit better. 7 stations, 1 telephone that you shared with 10 neighbors, and there no travel, just a newspaper, to this? And that's only in
In a pretty short amount of time.
optimistic.
And that's what I mean about envelope pushing. I think your optimism and your boldness and your faith in people, I think that could be termed especially in a cynical world, could be really, in my mind, is a really positive way to push the envelope of optimism and hope and excitement for what's around the corner. I want to know, looking ahead, what excites you most about the future of CX and how Sprinkler's preparing brands to thrive in this new era of intelligence unified experiences.
I think it's the unification of it. I truly think that's the unlock. Every customer, especially then those that are born in this era of full data and multiple channels where everything's sort of connected, but there's too much noise, they're going to appreciate as this kind of evolves the quality and the integration of high quality customer interactions. And I think that's the true unlock and opportunity in front of us. Sprinklr sees that vision. The unifiers at this national event from all over the world see that opportunity. And our customers that are on that forefront of that journey, they see that opportunity. This will change the way companies interact with their customers in every day, every way. And it's not a question of if, it's a question of how fast. It's not even when, it's happening and it's building momentum. I talk about this often. When Mo and Mentum show up at your party, invite them in. They are showing up at the unification of CX party right now. And that momentum is coming our way. We all need to embrace that and take them on that journey with us and create those extraordinary customer experiences every day with every customer that changes the planet.
Rory Read, you have made us all CX wiser today. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for being a guest on our show. I have loved the conversation. Wish we could continue, but I know you've got a lot of other folks to meet here at CX Unifiers. But thank you so much for your time. It's been fantastic.
My pleasure, Nate. Really.
Thanks,
My
Rory.
pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Yep. Cheers.